This is the tape script for the film strip Solomon, a Man of Wisdom. In the yesteryears of centuries ago, in a small portion of this vast world of ours, there lived a people called the children of Israel. From them came certain men and women through whom God revealed himself to all mankind. One of these was Solomon, a man of wisdom. David had been king of Israel for many years, but now he was old. It was time to look for a new king. Queen Bathsheba came to David and reminded him of a promise he had made her. "My lord, you swore that my son Solomon would be king after you and would sit on your throne." David told her, "I will make Solomon king this very day." So David told the prophet Nathan to take Solomon to Zadok, the priest, and anoint him king of Israel. All the people shouted and cheered, "Long live King Solomon! Long live King Solomon!" David wanted Solomon to be a good king. He told his son how important it was for him to obey God and serve him. David said, "And you, Solomon, my son, learn to know the God of your father and to serve him with your whole heart and with a willing mind. The Lord has chosen you to build a temple. Be strong and do it." King David showed Solomon the plans he had made for the temple. David invited the people to make gifts that would help build God's house. They wanted to share in the temple and gave offerings of gold, silver, and fine jewels. King David was very happy. He asked God to help Solomon. "Lord, give my son Solomon a loyal heart, so that he will live according to your word, and will build the temple for which I have made preparations." Solomon began his reign as king of Israel by going to the tabernacle to ask for God's blessing and guidance. He made burnt offerings and prayed for God's help in being a good king. That night God spoke to Solomon in a dream, saying, "Tell me what I should give you." And Solomon said, "Lord, you've made me king in place of my father, even though I am still very young. Who can rule over this great nation without your help? Give me therefore wisdom and understanding to rule over your people, that I may know the difference between good and evil." God was so pleased with Solomon's request that he promised him not only the wisdom he had asked for, but also riches, fame, and a long life. Not long after that, two women came to Solomon for help in solving a strange problem. The women lived in the same house and both had new babies. The one baby had died during the night, and now each mother said that the live baby belonged to her. Using the wisdom that God had given him, Solomon thought of a test that would show which woman was the real murderer. Solomon said, "Bring me a sword. Divide the living child in two, giving half to the one and half to the other." One of the women cried out in fright, "Oh my lord, give her the child, but by no means kill it." But the other woman showed no love for the child and did not object. "Let it be neither mine nor yours, divide it." And Solomon said, "Give the living child to the first woman. She is the mother." Solomon knew that the real mother was the one who wanted the baby to live, even if she couldn't have it. God had given King Solomon what he had asked for, wisdom. His wise sayings were written down, and we still have many of them today. Solomon said, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not depend on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil." People everywhere learned how wise Solomon was, and men came from faraway lands to hear his teachings. But Solomon did not forget the promise he had made his father, King David, and soon he started to build the temple. For 7 years the work went on. Solomon watched carefully to see that everything was done just as his father had planned it. At last the temple was finished. How beautiful it was! It was built of the most beautiful stone that could be found, wood from the cedars of Lebanon, and it was decorated with pure gold. The priests brought the sacred Ark of the Covenant from the tabernacle and placed it in the temple. Then Solomon called everyone to the temple to dedicate God's new house. He led the people in prayer of thanksgiving. "O Lord God of Israel, There is no God like you in heaven above or on earth below. You are keeping your covenant and showing mercy to your servants who walk before you with all their heart. The heavens of heavens cannot hold you. How much less this temple which I have built? After this prayer, Solomon spoke to the people. Blessed be the Lord who has given rest to his people Israel. Not one word of all his good promises has failed. The Lord our God be with us as he was our fathers. May he not leave us and forsake us, but fill our hearts with love for him, that we may walk in his ways and keep his commandments. The years went by. Stories about Solomon spread to faraway places, even to the country of Sheba. When the queen of Sheba heard about Solomon, she decided to come to Israel to see for herself if he was as wise and great as everyone said. It was all true. Solomon answered the queen's questions and showed her his palace and the beautiful temple. The queen saw that Solomon was even wiser and richer than she had heard, and she said, Blessed be the Lord your God, who is pleased with you and has set you on a throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel. He has made you king that you may do what is just and right. And so a visitor from a far-off land saw how God had blessed his people by giving their king the gift of wisdom, and how Solomon was using God's gift to rule wisely and to write another important chapter in the history of the kingdom of Israel. Here ends this cassette tape. Please rewind it to the very beginning.